most of the flowers in the gardens are entomophilous flowers. That is, they attract insects for pollination. To attract insects, these entomophilous flowers, they become bigger in size, they contain a lot of nectar, they become more bright and colorful, they have a sweet fragrance, and most of the time there is also modifications in the pollen grains. Now, what about these plants that are present in these vast fields? How are they pollinated? Well, most of the times, these crops are unisexual in nature. So, self-pollination won't be able to take place. So, these plants have to depend on cross-pollination. But how do they do cross-pollination? Because neither they have a bigger size, nor they have any attractive colors, or they do not have any sweet fragrance. So how do they attract insect? Well, insects are not the transporter of this cross-pollination. So what is the transporter? Have you ever experienced a sandstorm like this? Well, during a sandstorm, the sand gets transported from one part to another part. And what is the transporter? Yes, the transporter is the wind. Similarly, there are plants which are pollinated with the help of wind. See, wind is facilitating the cross-pollination. So such plants are known as anemophilous flowers, where anemo means wind and philous means affinity. This is a maize plant, and it is a plant that depends on wind pollination. For wind pollination, they have certain modifications. See, the male reproductive part or the stamens are hanging out of the plant so that there is easy transfer of pollen grains by the wind. Are the pollen grains modified? Yes. In these plants which are wind pollinated, the pollen grains get modified as well. The pollen grains become very small, the size of a sand, so that it can be easily dispersed by the wind. And since this plant is wind pollinated, the probability of pollination also becomes very less, because the direction of the wind is very important factor for pollination. If the wind direction is not right, then pollination won't take place. So to ensure that pollination takes place, a lot amount of pollen grains is produced in these plants. So these are the two modifications. Now, why is a cricket ball or a tennis ball spherical in shape? Well, spherical balls are faster. They move faster than any other shaped balls. That is the reason anemophilous flowers have spherical pollen grains like these, so that they can move faster through the wind. This is a female maize flower. See, the gynoecium comes out of the flower so that they can catch any pollen grains from the wind easily. So this is another modification of an anemophilous flower. So let us see what is happening actually. See, the pollen grains are getting transferred by the wind, and these pollen grains are falling on the female reproductive parts, thus bringing about pollination. See, the pollens are falling onto the stigma of the female reproductive part.